Welcome and a big hello to everybody joining me today to our podcast, We Are All Fine, an acronym for flawed, insecure, nervous and emotional. I'm Heidi Lester. I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist. And if you're new to the show, you are really, really welcome. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something I hear a lot of in my office, and many of you do without maybe even realising it. We're going to talk about people pleasing. That habit of putting other people's needs before your own, saying yes when you really want to say no, and constantly seeking approval. It might feel like it keeps you connected and liked, but over time, this people-pleasing behaviour can actually increase loneliness, increase anxiety, and really start to pick away at your self-doubt. And it stops you from being truly yourself. Let's look at what people pleasing is. People pleasing is about prioritising others' approval over your own well-being. And it's going to show up in a number of ways. If you're always saying yes, especially when you don't feel like you want to, that's a sign of a people pleaser. You're going to avoid conflicts at all costs. It's going to be really painful for you. You'll do everything you can not to be in a conflicting or upsetting situation with anyone else because you won't want them to dislike you or judge you. And you're going to be extra nice and you're going to be wanting to be seen as being good or doing the right thing all the time, making sure everybody else is okay without thinking of yourself at all. Now, at first, this might feel safe and it might feel like you're keeping your relationship smooth and doing everything right. You're avoiding the rejection, making sure everybody else has a smile on their face and likes you. But over time, this is going to leave you feeling exhausted, resentful, and disconnected from yourself. And it's at these moments when the anxiety and low mood and resentment are going to creep in. At first, it might feel safe. You're going to be thinking you're keeping those relationships smooth, ticking over. You'll be avoiding the rejection, doing everything snugly to protect your mental health. But actually, over time, it's going to leave you feeling exhausted, resentful, frustrated, but more importantly, something to be mindful of, disconnected from yourself. Let me tell you why people please. You're going to be frightened of rejection. You're going to worry that saying no is going to push people away from you. You're going to have a low self-worth. So you will tie your value to how others see you, not actually how you view or see yourself. So your values are going to be challenged. You'll be people-pleasing due to past experiences. Maybe you've experienced how it is to be conditionally loved. You only matter to me if, or criticism or inconsistent support throughout your childhood will have reinforced the idea that you must earn love or approval. And it's because of this you would have started to, it maybe not even noticing it, but subconsciously started to make sure you can pull people on side and get people to love you and approve of you. And you'll be people-pleasing as a connection to loneliness because ironically, people-pleasing increases loneliness because you're not expressing your real true self. You may feel seen but not known, and there's a real difference there. And you'll feel heard but you won't feel valued. Let me give you an example. You'll agree to extra work or social events. Hey, I'll come with you because you don't want to disappoint others. But inside you'll be drained, maybe burning out, and you'll feel disconnected. If this sounds like you're doing nothing wrong. You've just been filtering the messages, the influences through your life, and you've worked out a way to survive that. So if I say yes and make sure you're okay, ultimately, I'm going to be okay. All I'm suggesting today is probably not going to end up like that. So I'm going to share some really easy ways, simple and effective ways that you can try now and how you can stop that people-pleasing behaviour. The first thing you need to do is notice it. So you've listened to this podcast now, maybe Google a little bit more about it, go on some decent websites and sort of notice your patterns and pause and ask yourself, am I doing this to please myself or am I pleasing the other person? Awareness is always going to to be the first step. You now need to start focusing on how you can say no. Now, start small, decline a small request, and really try and be very mindful now. You do not need to over-explain. So you can say something like, really appreciate the invitation, but I'm going to say no this time. Thank you anyway, without that over-explanation, which just ties you up in knots and actually isn't going to do you any favours. I'm trying to get you to feel and be more assertive. If you don't want to go somewhere, that's all you need to say. Thanks, but no thanks. That is instantly going to make you feel more empowered, and the confidence will very gently start to load up in your brain. The more you start saying, no, thank you, really appreciate it, but I'm going to say no on this occasion, your brain starts to feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more comfortable. And believe me, you are going to want to feel like that more. It's an infectious feeling. You know I'm going to tell you to set some boundaries. Of course you need to do that if you want to stop people pleasing. They're not selfish. It's just self-respect in action. You matter, and those boundaries are put in place to continually remind you that you matter and you're important. You need to validate yourself. Replace the need for external approval with internal acknowledgement. You can say things to yourself like, I did what was right for me today. Ultimately, you're in charge of your life. So if you're trying to say no for the reasons right for you, that is enough. Remind yourself of that. You can even say that out loud. That I said for me. It's really, really important. And if it's something you're struggling with, reach out and seek support and share how you're feeling with a friend, a counsellor, somebody who you know is in your life, who gets you for who you are, who will listen to you without judgment and will encourage that authenticity. Any change is gradual, and you might feel guilty at first, but over time, respecting your needs strengthens your confidence, and in turn, and you won't believe me right now, but it will actually strengthen your relationship. Just think about the people in your life around you who've put those boundaries in place and will say no and mean it kindly with self-compassion. They will be assertive. I bet you respect those people more. I know I do, and I'm thinking about the people in my life. You know, I know where I'm at with them. I know they're honest. I know they're genuine. I know they've got their own interests at heart. And I really, really admire and respect that in that person. So think about what we've discussed today. I've told you why you'll people please. Have a rummage around in your history, in your past. Work that one out. Why am I in this position? Stop measuring your worth by how much you give or how others react to you. Try and embrace the idea that being yourself is enough. It always is. You don't need to earn love or approval. It's already there. Now, curiosity always going to be key. Experiment with being honest about what you want and really notice how differently people will respond to you. Because often those authentic connections will grow stronger when you show your true self. Think about what we've talked about today. Think about how your people-pleasing techniques and traits have shown up. What you're doing falsely to get something back isn't working. So try very small, gentle, compassionate steps to be able to loosen that rigidness of trying to make sure everybody else is okay. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure you're okay and start to practice saying no the way that feels comfortable. And start putting those boundaries in place and practice saying no kindly, with compassion and with respect for everybody else, and just see how it feels. I do promise you, the more you do this, the more you're going to want to put yourself first, which is never selfish. It's important. You matter. I always say this on my podcasts. If you can get hold of this now, promise you, as you grow up through adulthood and beyond, you're going to feel a much more rounded and confident human being. Thank you for listening to We Are All Fine. This is episode 31, and if you found it helpful, share it with a friend who might need it. Follow me. You can come and join me on all the usual platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. You can reach out directly at HeidiWeAreAllFine@gmail.com. So after discussing people pleasing, and you're going to go and practice now how that's going to change for you, join me for our next episode, episode 32, with practical tools to assert yourself so you can learn to say no without the guilt. I will give you really quick, effective steps that you can put into practice. It's empowering, practical, and really relevant to all of you as you navigate through friendship, school, work, college, and family life. We are all flawed, insecure, nervous, and emotional, but always remember, be yourself, you are no one else. Until next time, you take care. Have a great, great week. Finally, some important takeaways. The podcast is for informational use only and should not be used as a substitution for professional advice or for personal diagnosis. These opinions are personal and I do not guarantee the accuracy of such opinions or information. I'm not intending to create a counselling relationship with you, and you should always consult a qualified mental health professional with any concerns.